guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. It's been a while. I don't review any altcoins, and in the video from yesterday, which by the way got loads of views and 72 likes, hopefully today we get even more than that, which will be amazing. I've got a few requests. People ask me to review Cardano, XRP, and Ethereum, and I think it makes a lot of sense in this video today to have a look at that for a bunch of reasons. The first reason is Total 3 is bouncing on the weekly support. We don't know if we are going to actually lose that support, but still I think it's a good time to review some of the top market caps, because if Total 3 manages to hold the 21 weekly EMA and my RSI weekly support right here, together with other fundamentals like, for example, the approval of the ETF for Ethereum spot and a potential breakdown on the weekly of Bitcoin dominance, which might give us some room to start seeing the altcoins moving higher. Guys, if this is the type of content that you like to watch, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I put out one of these videos. And if you feel like supporting the channel, watch the video until the very end and do not go anywhere without leaving any comment down below, because that's really helping the channel to continue growing. Have a look at our description. There's a link for the exchange Bybit, which is now not just offering you 30,000 in rewards, but also if you head down to my Discord server straight into Bybit perks, you're gonna find this here, and if you click get discounts and connect your Bybit account, you can opt in for up to 70% discounts in all TTP tiers. If you are already using Bybit with a different referral link, I left here instructions if you feel like using my referral account with Bybit, which will really support the channel as well. Here you can see Bitcoin spot ETF, check, Bitcoin halving, check, bull conform, check, and then empty goes and Germany comes in to spoil the whole party. Here's a very interesting pattern from Immortal Crypto. I think I saw this pattern somewhere else before as well, possibly from Benjamin Cowen. But here in 2019, right before COVID, we were being held after an initial phase rally by this trend line, which lasted 261 days. This trend line is supporting each of these points and even the last bottom during COVID. Right after that, we started shooting back up. All of this is part of the bull market. It's just that the COVID kind of kept the price action constrained for a lot longer for the obvious impact it had across the globe. The question is for how long we are going to stay here. So far, it's been 116 days, which might mean that maybe there's still 5 more months to be held within this massive bull flag if we were to repeat the same performance of COVID. But for that, we need to get something as big. And here we have Leon talking about a huge divergence between Ethereum and Bitcoin. Ethereum is becoming scarcer than BTC. You can see that the exchange balance on Ethereum is only 10%, on BTC is 15%, which is quite bullish. This week, starting from today, we are going to have plenty of events that are going to bring in loads of volatility. We have the Fed Chair Powell testifies on Tuesday tomorrow, OPEC monthly report on Wednesday, June CPI inflation on Thursday, and on Friday we have 3 events. We have June PPI, Michigan consumer sentiment data, and total of 9 Fed speaker events this week. And it seems that Germany selling Bitcoin seems to be the thing that is attracting all the attention these days in the crypto market. But there's something that I have also noticed together with Dan Crypto Trades, which is every time that we are seeing Germany selling, I am seeing less impact. So my speculation is that with the initial sales, people were preparing for the selling, and everybody together with Germany selling for the first time also sold. And what we are seeing now is just a bit of extra shorter sellers together with Germany selling. So in other words, we are seeing less impact, but do not take my word for it, because Germany still has quite a lot to sell. Look on Chain says the German government transferred 1,000 Bitcoin out again 15 minutes ago. That was this morning early. Dan also mentions that from 3.3 billion, now they only have 1 billion left. That is considering the wallet itself. I ignore if they still hold within the exchanges with the intention to sell. But as you can see, there are other tweets from different sources stating that there's still 2 billion to be sold. And when it comes to yesterday weekly close, it didn't really look that well. You can see here that we ended up closing below the previous close at 56.7. That was the previous lower low. But on the side of the good news, we can see that the S1 approvals are coming soon. Something else that is actually bullish again from Dan is that Ethereum retraced all the price action and open interest that came from the ETF news initially. So that initial wave came just from speculators that the ETF is coming in. And right now they are all getting wrecked, reducing that open interest, partially thanks to the selling of Bitcoin, which has nothing to do with Ethereum potential for the future, making it a great trade also in my opinion. Mickey Bull is sharing this chart on altcoin season, saying, is altcoin season cancelled? The chart says no, it has happened in every cycle to shake you out. Look at this chart and tell me why you should give up at this bottom. You can see that you have an initial breakout bullish from the bear market, then there is a final shakeout and then another shoot with an equivalent leg up again. We are in a similar situation here, seeing all the sellout here, and we should be getting some recovery very soon, hopefully. We can see that the market is half and half green and red today, with quite a bunch of double digits across the board. So before we look into XRP, ADA, and Ethereum, I'm gonna look into the Bitcoin dominance. And as you can see here, we made quite a big effort to regain the white trend line, which was our support throughout the bull market. And we are seeing right now in this week a rejection. This is a live candle, so we cannot confirm where are we gonna close next Sunday, but it's looking bearish for the Bitcoin dominance, which means that we might get some room for the altcoins to push higher. There is still a chance that the Bitcoin dominance during this market might make a high here and get very close to 60%, especially considering the current monetary policy, which is quite constraining for the altcoins to really shine. But let's focus on the charts and what they are telling us. And what I see here is dominance getting compressed. Let's make a long-term view on XRP and Ethereum. And for that, I'm going to start with the weekly together with the RSI. Here we have the chart of Ethereum. You can see here what looks like a double top right around here. When it comes to the RSI, we can see that we made it to 83, and then on the second top, we made it low at 67. So we are here in a downwards momentum. That is very clear. If we put this line here, we are even below this support. We actually shouldn't have reached this low in the RSI. But since on the weekly, Ethereum hasn't put yet any low, the structure is still bullish. The RSI is pointing out that there might be some further selling here coming in. And for a safer entry, I will look for a breakout of the RSI anywhere around here. But it will be great if we get a little bit more bearishness and we enter from a safer area, meaning a lower area of the breakout in terms of the RSI. But there might be not enough time for that either, just because the final steps for the ETF to go live are getting very close as well. If we look at Ethereum on the daily, we can see that we are being held by this trend line, which is just showing us that we are printing lower highs. And then we have this one, which is a shorter term that ideally, after having entered within the cross-view ratio, should be getting us a better entry with higher likelihood that the RSI is going to break above this trend line, with a potential to target 61 RSI on the daily as a target. But so far, we haven't broken above this trend line either. But if you like risk, after entering the cross-view ratio around here, being for a decent amount of time below this trend line should provide a decent reward. When looking at the 4-hour and the CPR monthly, we can see that we are kind of finalizing a double bottom formation. If this was to break out, this should take us somewhere around 3.3K. This month, the last pivot is located at 2.5K. Ethereum is a lot more volatile than Bitcoin. A lot more often, you are going to see Ethereum touching the extremes of the third support or the third resistance. On the 4-hour, we are also entering the cross-view ratio, and I think that CPR of 2.9 was providing quite great entry together with the cross-view ratio. When looking at Ethereum against BTC on the weekly, you can see that we have been held from September 2022 up until the 1st of January. with all the news of the ETF, we managed to break out and we did 2 retests of the same trend line before starting to build a channel that is going up. The price still hasn't mimicked what the momentum has already done, and there's a high likelihood that eventually will. For a target for Ethereum versus BTC, I have placed all this channel with the Fibonacci, and my target is halfway the whole range of this area. And why is that? That's very simple. That's because if you place this range around here, in the previous area from the previous market, you're going to see that we reach half the performance of the previous cycle. So if we were to repeat the same pattern and Ethereum remains losing against Bitcoin the way it's been performing for its whole life so far, then we should only get a rally up until 0.066 Ethereum BTC. So here's the question. Can we get higher than this? Yes, but in order to do that, we need Ethereum to step up to BTC and for the first time in history, retain the value after every cycle. So far, it hasn't been the case. This just means that for the whole history of Ethereum, people dump Ethereum harder than they do with Bitcoin during the bear market. As simple as that. Right now, Ethereum is looking very strong because of the promise of the ETF. Whether that's going to stick around and maybe Ethereum will become as strong or stronger than BTC is anyone's guess. Let's go next with XRP on the weekly. And here we have a much clearer pattern. We have this top that occurred in July of 2023, and since then we've been doing lower highs and lower lows, and we are right at the support provided by 0.4260. Better to see it around here, and ideally this low that we are seeing here on the weekly should be the pivot that pushes back again into resistance, if not breaks it. If we put a new low, we're going to lose the support that we started from May 2023, and that could get really ugly for XRP holders. If you want to get an early indication, you can cheat a little bit and place the breakout line right there. You can see that we are being held by that resistance. Potentially, if we break and we close the week above 38 RSI, we could have good chances that we make it all the way to 47. Those RSI levels can be translated in price. You can join my website with the tier picnic and get access to loads of free indicators. XRP seems to be doing better than Ethereum on the 4-hour. You can see here that we're already challenging the first support, whereas Ethereum still hasn't got there. Quite good entries in the past 2 days from the cross-V ratio, and on the daily is building a magnificent resistance here that I'm sure that eventually is going to break out to the upside. On the daily, you have also an entry from the cross-V ratio. We haven't had one since September 2023, so it's quite a rare signal that is happening right here after being below this trend line since March. So it's got good chances breaking above it. Right now, the point of control is 0.52, so that's gonna be a challenge to break above it, followed by 0.61, which has this area of volume right there. There's been loads of selling every time we are around there with big dumps. So when the price comes to 0.5 and 0.61, it's gonna have a tough time proving that we can escape from all this resistance. ADA on the weekly has been really painful. We have made a drawdown of 60%, and you can see that if we place this trend line like this, we can do a little bit of cheating and say that this is escaping and gaining momentum. We have very little points of contact on the weekly. If you place it like this, there is literally no point of contact. You could place it like that as well. Either way you place it, you're gonna see that this is starting to curve up and wanting to challenge the moving average. This means that the selling is starting to slow down and ADA might be getting ready for pushing higher. And when we look at the 4-hour and the monthly CPR, you can see that among XRP, Ethereum, ADA is actually performing better because it's above the first line of support and is already making higher highs and higher lows towards those pivots, which is quite bullish in my opinion. The RSI is in a channel to the upside. We got a cross-V ratio entry on the 4-hour when the price was at 0.34, and on the daily we've been through this painful cascade prices printing lower lows and lower highs constantly. If we place the line like this, you can see that there was a fake out around there, so we need to move this up. But when you start seeing those fake outs, even if they're painful, if you are entering the trade there, this is telling me that Cardano is preparing itself for something bigger to come. And I'm not an expert in the fundamentals of Cardano. I know they got a bunch of things good in terms of implementation, costs, and speed, maybe even safety, but in terms of performance has been a disaster throughout this bull market. And with the upcoming fork, that in the previous bull market it gave 130% profit. If we were to do something like that and we made 130% right now, we will make it to 0.77. That is just past performance, nothing guaranteed. I am an ADA red back holder from the previous bull market, which is something that I'm never gonna do again. No exceptions. I think the 4-hour on Cardano has already broken out and is already on the move up, so I wouldn't chase the price right here. But on the other hand, we are seeing higher lows, higher highs, double bottom formation, and challenging the pivots is looking pretty good. And I will say if we challenge once again this daily resistance, that will pretty much confirm that things are starting to build up for Cardano. Guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments if you want me to review any other altcoin of your preference. Give a like to the video. We want to get to 100 likes. I'm sure we can make it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.